Hello and welcome to the update. I am Michelle Stevenson. Well, all of Victoria will go into lockdown from midnight for 5 days. There are 13 cases of COVID linked to that cluster at a Melbourne quarantine hotel, all with the more infectious strain of the virus. Now, the Premier Daniel Andrews says that lockdown is going to act like a circuit breaker.
We will be able to smother this. We will be able to prevent it getting away from us. I want to be here on Wednesday next week announcing that these restrictions are coming off.
Victorians can only leave home for 4 reasons. That'll be exercise, it'll be food, education and work. Now, schools will only be open for those who can't stay at home, while childcare is staying open altogether. Weddings are off and funerals are limited to 10 people. Other states, meantime, have moved pretty quickly to exclude Victorians or those who have been in Greater Melbourne. South Australia has locked out the entirety of Victoria. The hard border restrictions include the cross-border arrangements. WA will put in place a temporary hard border for Victoria tonight, just for 72 hours to begin with, while the Queensland border will close to Greater Melbourne for 14 days from 1 a.m. on Saturday. New South Wales, no surprises here, they'll keep its border open, but anyone who's been in Victoria since late last month is being ordered to stay at home for the next 5 days. Meantime, the entire Terminal 4 at Melbourne Airport has been listed as a COVID exposure site, no matter what state you live in. Anyone who visited the terminal on Tuesday between 4:45 a.m. and 2 p.m. are being told to isolate, test and remain isolated for 14 days. To other news, and the federal government is defending its handling of its COVID measures as JobKeeper and JobSeeker are set to come off. The budget is forecast for $1 trillion debt and a massive deficit. And Aussies lost a record $37 million to romance scams last year. Scammers are now turning to romance baiting, where they meet people on dating apps and eventually encourage them to participate in an investment opportunity. Taking a look at sport, and the Australian Open will go ahead, but without crowds like the AFLW. The tennis will continue because Victoria's Premier has deemed it a workplace. Daniel Andrews said it won't be an entertainment event though.
I don't have advice to cancel the event on the basis that it's unsafe. I just don't have that. We've got to do what the advice tells us to do and what we think is as proportionate as possible.
Taking a look at entertainment news now, and Britney Spears' dad has lost his bid to become her sole conservator. The singer's lawyer reiterating her position in court that she doesn't want her father to have continued power over her estate. And Priyanka Chopra has revealed her wedding day was almost ruined by a splinter. Just hours before the actress tied the knot with Nick Jonas, she had to perform an emergency operation on her own foot. She used nothing but tweezers and perfume. Now that's the latest from the Nova Podcast News team. We'll see you tomorrow morning, though, for another episode of The Update.